isn't done yet. And here he is a few years later on another morning show in Nashville called A Closer Look. So let's take a closer look. This is like Rob's intro. Patreon.com.
Oh my God.
Good morning and welcome to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. Today, my guests are Tom Reed and Terry Snow.
Good to be here.
Thank you for being here. Now, Tom, you are the founder of Miami Models.
In South Beach.
What?
Yes.
At South Beach. You're a photographer and all this kind
And I
of
own
thing.
a modeling agency, yes.
But that's not necessarily why you're here
calm
today.
down.
No.
Tell me, what brought you to our area?
Okay, good question. Well, being in the film business my entire life, I was pretty much, I guess, encouraged by my late father, Dr. Howard Reed, who was also a politician and an attorney, to stop focusing so much on everyone else and start focusing on something that took place with our family back in 1969.
Hotties.
And it's a
69.
interesting piece. My family owned a diner called The Village on the Green in Sheffield, Massachusetts, which has been the subject of about 6 or 7 TV shows or documentaries.
Who can keep track these days? Who can keep track? Yeah, so that's something we didn't know about Tom Reed. Miami Models. He is the founder of a modeling agency in Miami, Florida, the hottest place for the hottest bods.
Kind of hot, yeah.
I see you, Tom. We see you.
Oh, for sure we do.
Don't really want to, but I'm sure it's hot.
So his modeling agency, called Miami Models, he provides attractive starlets to such productions as CSI Miami and others. I'm not quite sure.
Weren't they just extras, though?
Yeah, they're attractive and they're starlets. They're not quite stars yet, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you're not really seeing them. They're in the background, so that's as far as you're going to get with Tom Reed, you guys.
Yeah, Tom Reed casted Volleyball Player 4 in Season 13, Episode 97 of CSI Miami, and it's on his IMDb. You can look up Tom Reed on IMDb, and it's a lot of modeling stuff and a few alien things thrown in just for good measure.
Which he hates, right?
Hates so much that he goes on every morning show that gets to the bottom of the barrel, looks underneath the barrel, and says, all right, Tom, you can come on. But now Tom tells us that not only is this story important to the field of ufology, because it is. Come on, this isn't just about models. We're being a little tough on him. He's got to live a life, right? What do you think about that? A guy who grows up with alien encounters grows up to own a modeling agency.
Well, I was going to say, a few seconds ago, was that he really did despise being on those other shows because they had promised him that it was going to be, matter of fact, just straight his actual story, and that they did that whole Hollywood thing and, exaggerated it and blew it up. And so it is kind of odd, though, that after having that stance, that he's then going to go on to have a modeling agency in Florida.
This guy wants to be
Hollywood.
Hollywood. He just doesn't have the charisma to do it. That's the problem. He goes on some shows and he's got a completely black blazer, black shirt, and the brightest red tie you've ever seen. He might as well be wearing a fedora.
Black blazer.
He's got his.
Well, you heard him. He's been working in film his whole life. This is all he's ever done is film.
I'm sure there's something called Reed's Casting Couch that you need to go on the dark web.
Oh
for.
no!
But
now you're defaming this guy.
No, I'm not.
I'll save what I have to say for him later.
It's not that bad. It really isn't. But like I said, I don't know why I don't know about this, because it is important to us, because history. This is a historic event. Let's hear.
I think. And so with that, the historians in Massachusetts looked into it, and they found, the witnesses of that time period are now bankers and lawyers and doctors. And with that said, they actually voted on it in 2015 to see if it was historically significant enough to be deemed true history to Massachusetts. And it got inducted, and it was inducted by the state historians and Governor Charles D. Baker. So we actually have the very first UFO-related incident to ever be inducted into the U.S. as historically true. Now,
yeah, it was reviewed.
There it is.
It's reviewed, and the governors and others, the governor himself and others decided that this event will be chronicled as a recognized historic event.
That's a big deal.
That's cool that that a UFO event is being recognized like that. It's weird that it's this particular one, just because there's not a lot of like solid evidence. There's no like the lack of pictures of evidence.
You mean the lack of crayon drawings?
The steam in the tank of Tom Reed is pushing this choo-choo along big time. I mean, he's getting on all these shows. He's getting cutting-edge technology. You ever heard of a green screen? This might as well just be a monument to green screens. So, not only is this going to be recognized as a historic event, it will be honored with a memorial site. So now we're in 2015. All right, flash forward again. We've gone from 66, then we were all 69, and then we were somewhere in the 2000s, and we're 2015, and here is a local ABC affiliate doing a feature on this now historic incident in Sheffield, Massachusetts.
A big deal for a tiny town of Mass when hundreds of people reported seeing something strange up in the sky. Could it be alien visitors?
Well, as News 10's Mary Wilson tells us, a half a century later, people are still talking about it.
The idea of flying saucers first landed in the 1940s and has invaded popular culture ever since. There's been countless reported sightings, but only one has made it into state historical records.
Why?
I've always believed it from day one. I think there's something out there. I believe.
Something happened here, and it's not something you can make up.
Labor Day, 1969.
So we were coming out of that bridge.
A 9-year-old Thomas Reed is in the back seat of his mom's station wagon when the family sees a glowing orb, then hovering 3 stories above a cornfield.
It was massive. It was like metallic. I know, crazy it sounds, right? But I sat there. I saw it myself.
He describes it as a giant turtle shell. His mom pulls off into a clearing, and then comes a period of time no one can account for.
We have weird memories of that night. And when we
Granny
came to,
in the
if you will,
street.
my mother and grandmother were reversed in the car.
No,
the
she
car
was in the
off.
street. Wait a minute. The story's changing.
Reversed in the car or 69ing in the car?
Before we even get into that was our first soundboard clip that I want to hear from this. Let's hear the soundboard clip, please, Rob.
He describes it as a giant turtle shell.
I don't know why. It's just a great UFO description there. Just gets right to the meat of it. You can picture it immediately. Yeah.
Is that a giant turtle shell in the middle of the road?
It's gonna fight
What the
Godzilla.
fuck?
Yeah.
Should we help that giant turtle shell across the road?
Hold on.
Let it sit there?
You help him out. I'm going to go tell the governor we need to start erecting a plaque for this immediately. The turtle's in the sky.
Also, what are you gonna do to help a giant turtle shell across the street?
You're going to erect a monument and put a little park up or something. I don't know.
Give him a little incentive, I feel emboldened now.
You just got to give him a little scoot. You scoot him over, you know?
With your shoe?
That's right. And
Yeah.
if they have problems,
you pick him up, give him a little scoot.
you make a
that
little
sounds
Lego wheelchair
heavy.
for them if their legs don't work. But this is a truly historic moment, so I want to hear more because we're going to hear about a marker for this event that has been set up.
50 years later, Reed remains embedded in the paranormal world, sharing his story on TV shows like Ancient Aliens and building up the park dedicated to his encounter. A 5,000-pound cement marker memorializes the off-world incident as both historically significant and true, complete with the signature of Governor Charles Baker. The formal recognition came from the Great Barrington Historical Society in 2015.
Wow. This is, historic, right? Why isn't this a bigger deal in ufology? This guy's getting a stone marker signed by the governor. They got a park, it sounds like. It sounds nice. A UFO story getting legitimate coverage.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool that they're so open about it.
Yeah, not just coverage, but the fact that it's part of the community, like it shows where it happened. And it's a park, so people are going to constantly being appreciating it and enjoying it.
Well, let's not get too excited about the community yet. It is a bit strange for such prominent people to back this, but let's hear about that.
A decision then-director Debbie Opperman later called a mistake and a professional embarrassment. Today, the society is run by Robert Kroll.
Oops. That's
Okay, Kay
embarrassing.
Burley.
So
what a jerk.
It turns out whoever's running the Historical Society probably shouldn't have signed off on this, and the governor, maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to throw out any more wild accusations of what he was doing, but he seems to not remember signing this either, so we got some immediate controversy about it. Sorry. But yeah, there it is. It's there. It exists. However he did it, this is a first for the UFO world. The Tom Reed UFO Park. It's not the Reed family. This is the Tom Reed. He pushed for
only
it.
Tom Reed.
No, he gets it.
Okay.
It's for him. It's for him.
Finally, he gets some spotlight on him, and he gets to tell his story finally.
And it's definitely going to stand forever and like cement his legacy in the community, right? Like from time on end.
I think that's the point of having a memorial set up and the governor signing off, because no one can ever touch it. And even though, some of them may be distancing themselves, but some even bigger names than whoever the hell the governor of Massachusetts was at the time, they got some big names that are backing this park 100%.
But the alleged encounter and the park itself are not without controversy. The town of Sheffield last year ordering the massive marker be moved because of its proximity to a public pathway. Reed says the land belongs to a farmer who he rents it from. The town has gone quiet on the dispute, but skeptics remain.
Why'd they bring him back? If he was abducted 50 years ago.
Others concede his unwavering story rings true.
I believe in him. They're probably out there.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Probably.
The park is gaining support, accepting donations of stone, weeping willow trees, solar lights, and benches. One of them even sponsored by Dean Hagland, who played Ringo in The X-Files.
Holy shit, Ringo from The X-Files is back in this. See, that was a bit of
Ringo from The X-Files.
The most famous Ringo that I know.
That was a bit of a swerve. You thought everyone was just shitting on his park, but nope. It turns out he has bigger friends. He's got Ringo from The X-Files. Who is Ringo? I think he's one of the lone gunmen. I think he's the guy who looks like Garth. I think that's him.
Let's see.
He probably met him on the autograph circuit or something. But there was one thing in there I really liked.
Yeah, you got it. That's him. That's Richard Langley.
There you go.
As Ringo.
There you go. He loves him. And he's got his own bench. You can sit on the Ringo bench. You can sit at this UFO park. It's one of a kind. Got a historical marker. Hey, it's got its haters, but it's got its lovers too. There was one clip in there I want to hear again. There was one little thing, because they were doing those Man on the Street interviews, and all the guys like, I don't know, leave me alone, I'm going to work. But he said this one guy had one real good thing to say, talking about Tom's abduction. Let's hear it.
Why'd they bring him back? If he was abducted 50 years ago.
Why'd they bring him back? Who knows?
Oh, well, that's really mean, because that's to assume that they took him and just had him the whole time. Why'd they bring him back? Like,
that sounds like a
he
guy
hasn't
that's
been gone
sick
for
of him.
50 years.
He doesn't want him in the town. He's like, oh, that guy was abducted. Yeah, why'd they bring him back? Was like, we're pretty normal
it's like,
town.
It happened he came back a long time ago, guy. Like,
yeah.
Why are you so mad?
He kind of subtly was like, I wish that they kept him. To be honest,
yeah,
it sounded like.
He was gone for like 90 minutes in the
reason.
60s. He was gone for 90 minutes in the 60s. No one missed him then. He's always been there in your town. Why are you getting mad now? So
all of a sudden now, I think, he's just being a dick.
That guy, most of the town sounds like dicks, and we're going to find out more about these dicks. But this story's almost done. But let's hear more about this great UFO park.
This is kind of like for everybody that has thought they had seen something or did see something, that this is all for them.
Believing in aliens can leave you feeling alienated, but not in this judgment-free park.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're probably criticized. And now they've got a spot that says, look, we never wavered. We stuck together. And together, as a community, we made history.
In Sheffield, I'm Mary Wilson, News 10 ABC.
And it could be a good tourist spot for the community as well.
Yeah, sure it can. I want to say a little bit about this park, and I am not coming out. I love UFOs. I love any attraction involved with them. This is a weird granite obelisk that comes out of the ground with a plaque on it. It's next to a pond. There are two benches that have all kind of great names on them, like Skippy or Ringy from from X-Files and other people.
Ringo from the X-Files name is on there?
And other people.
Ringo from the X-Files name is on there?
Of course, if you buy a bench, you get your name on it. All it is,
and Scullo.
it's a rock coming out of the ground. It's 2 benches. It's a covered bridge, and there is nothing. I mean, nothing else. I don't know how you would even end up at this place. I don't know how you would even.
It looks like it's like behind. It's somewhere that you would walk on a trail that goes behind people's backyards.
Yeah.
It's not a very common thoroughfare.
No, you would have to for sure go through someone's backyard. It looks like someone's backyard.